Anyway, everybody, welcome back to Ark. Welcome back to Ark Beginner's Guide here on Bateman Gaming. This is my beginner's guide. This is not necessarily the best way to do things or the only way to do things. It's just how I prefer to do things. And today we're gonna cover basic kibble, like just the process of how to make it. You'll have to look up the recipe for the different kinds of kibble. We're gonna cover growing stuff because you're gonna need to grow crops if you want to make kibble. And you're going to want to make kibble if you're going to want to tame something that's a high level that's going to be really good for you, because you get the best taming effectiveness with kibble, which basically means you get the highest amount of extra levels on top of it after it tames, on top of the level it is. Um, which we'll go over here when I'm doing this tame. I think I went over it when I was taming the other thing too, but by now you should as I've said in my previous videos, you should go get you a male dodo and a couple females for the eggs here. They're great. You can eat them just raw to refill your food there. Just like this. It's a nice little snack, or you can make kibble out of them. For gardening, all you really need is this right here. With just this, you have one intake pipe, one intake pipe, one vertical pipe, one straight pipe, and a spigot. You can put a crop plot right underneath it. It's a tongue twister for me. I don't know why. But yeah. And let's see here. We'll just go ahead and go over this. If you put so I put the poop in there. Now it's got 3,500 fertilizer. When I put a seed in there, it's going to be seeded, and it's going to start using that fertilizer. You see also it's irrigated. That lets you know the water is falling on it. That's how you're going to do that. That's how you're going to set that up. You can absolutely put these on foundations and in greenhouses if you want. We'll go over that in a minute. If I put the fertilizer in there, though, see how now it has 57,500 instead of 3,500. Fertilizer is made. You can make fertilizer in a compost bin, which if you build a compost bin and you put 3 stacks of 100 thatch in there, it's 300 thatch, and then fill it the rest of the way up with poop that you pick up from your critters, and it will eventually make fertilizer. You can also tame a dung beetle and put them on wandering in a building. Why, hello there, Mr. Miss Pelagornis. This is a Pelagornis. They are a bird that can land on water. That's pretty much their only fucking use. They have very low stamina and very low weight. They have no damage when they attack. So, yeah. Okay, where was I? Oh, yes, fertilizer. Dung beetles, yes. If you put a dung beetle on wandering, which means they're going to run around, and they need to be able to move. They can't be over-encumbered or they won't eat. And then you put poop in them, they will turn that poop into fertilizer, and as a byproduct, they will also produce oil. Anyway, I have my crop speed turned way up. I actually meant to mention it before. I'm going to do the rest of my tutorial videos on my Ragnarok server, just 'cause it's going to be a lot easier for me to set up than a single-player game, because, the single-player game doesn't keep going when you log off. It just stops. But my Ragnarok server is boosted like hell, so we're going to throw these rock carrots in here. And, this growing is turned up a lot, but it's growing very fast, but there's no greenhouse effect. So while that's growing and we're talking about gardening, we're going to walk back over here, and I'm going to show you guys my greenhouse. And I don't need this stuff a lot, and I have it to where it grows so fast in this greenhouse, like I can just grow it when I need it. I just put fertilizer in there, and 30 seconds later I have what I need. So yeah, I don't have it filled like it used to be. These are all seeded with what I had planted in there, so, but if you look, you see it has a greenhouse effect of 300%, and that makes it grow a lot faster. Like, here, let me just show you guys. I think I have a piece of poop. Throw a piece of poop in there. It's not going to do it now. Oh, there it goes. And it's already used that fertilizer, though, to do that. Like, it grows faster, but it uses the fertilizer way faster, too. Like, it's going to... So I'm going to take these rock carrots here. Just going to take a couple, because we're going to need rock carrots in every kind of kibble, you will need at least one kind of crop, be it a rock carrot or citronelle or whatever. Come out here and look. See this shit's already growing. See how it's a seedling? So it says crop, rock carrot seedling. It will not produce anything until it becomes a fruitling, and then it starts producing. And it uses the most fertilizer while it's producing those. Also, these crops go bad really fast. So you're going to want to either get them into a refrigerator or leave them on the plant until you need them. So anyway, yeah. That's gardening. And now we're going to cover making kibble. And then we're going to go tame what should be your first flyer, because it is the first saddle for a flyer you unlock, and it's pretty much the easiest, most common one. Oh yeah, preserving bins. Some kibble will take a jerky, cooked meat jerky, or prime meat jerky. And the way you make that is it's very simple. You put some oil in the preserving bin, and you put some spark powder in there, and you throw in your cooked meat or your cooked prime meat, and it will over time turn into jerky. And you can use that for kibble. This is your basic cooking pot, which is what you'll use for kibble until you build one of these, which you may not even need to build one of these. You know, if you're playing with a very small tribe or whatever, y'all can probably just, you may not need enough kibble to justify building the big one, is all I'm saying. I've actually already made the dodo kibble I need for this, but I wanted to do it so you guys can see it. And you put, you see I have jars of water in here, and yeah, you're gonna put. I have fiber already here. It's always gonna need fiber. It's always gonna need mijo berries. I need to get mijo berries. I grew some of them just a minute ago, but ran out of fertilizer because it grows so fast. We're not gonna need that many anyway. I think it uses like 3 mijo berries per kibble. So we're gonna put the mijo berries in there. We've got our crop, which is rock carrot for this one. We're gonna put our eggs in there. Oh, you know what? Let me get this cooked meat back. That was for demonstration purposes only. Also, even if you leave your spark powder in the box and nothing's in there, it will still use it. So don't leave a box empty with spark powder, and it's going to waste your spark powder. Then we'll throw the cooked meat in there, because this recipe calls for cooked meat. Some call for cooked prime meat, some call for meat jerky, some call for prime meat jerky. You know, you just have to look the recipe up for which one. They're all different pretty much, but they all call for fiber and mijo berries and a crop. You'll need water for all of them, and you'll need an egg. That will determine what kind of kibble it is. Then we'll just light the fire. And we wait. That's everything. It takes a little while, though. I don't know why I'm being quiet. Like, I don't want to scare it. Maybe it's like a souffle in the oven. It'll fall if you stomp around it or anything. Who knows? Who knows? It's ridiculousness. But yeah, this is my setup. When I first built this, I had all this going with crops, but then I quickly realized that I really didn't need all that all the time, and my dung beetle died at some point. I didn't get on for a while, and I guess he starved to death in here, poor little guy. I don't even remember what his name was. It's horrible. It's horrible. That's what Ark will do to you. But yeah, I got seeds over here, and a mind wipe tonic, which is actually what you use to reset all your stats and your Ingram points, so you can respend them. So we look in here. Okay, look, yeah, see, it is making our dodo kibble. But you see, my jar is empty now. And if you had one of these spouts here, I think I just stepped in that fucker. If you have one of these spouts here, you can't like, you can just stand in water, like stand in water up to your waist or your feet or whatever to fill these. But in these spouts, you have to actually put the water jar in there. And I'm not even gonna lie, it took me a good fucking minute to figure that out when I first was playing and first built that. I was like, how the hell do I fill a water jar out of these spouts? Yeah. And yeah, I don't need more of this kibble for the demonstration purposes, but at the same time, I don't want to waste it. But yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and put out this fire. I'll take all this stuff with me, because I can use it elsewhere. Elsewhere! Alright, so you don't have to build your saddle before you go after your tame, but I like to do it just so I have it. So if we look here, the first saddle the first saddle recipe you learn for a flyer is at 38, and it's a pterodon, which is great because pterodons are everywhere, and they're actually really easy to tame. It's really fast, even if you just use regular raw meat. You know, you can tame them with prime meat, that's better. You can tame them with kibble, that's going to give you the best effectiveness, but even if you just use regular raw meat, it's a pretty quick tame. So we're going to learn that, and then you can actually make that in your inventory. And on your person, it's right here. Nope, this one. Yes. And I already have the stuff on me. It's chitin or keratin, fiber, and hide. So it's pretty easy stuff to get. Just going to craft that real quick. So we have our saddle. And you're also going to want some bolas, because the way you have to do these pterodons is you basically have to wait for them to land, follow them so they don't fly away, and then shoot them. I have a really good rifle, built it out of a blueprint, and it's pretty much like max damage you can get on a rifle, like 755%. Like I said, my server's boosted, so the blueprint was boosted. So yeah, it still took a shitload of materials though. A shitload of materials. Like when you boost that shit and the recipes are boosted, they take so much more materials. It's crazy. But anyway, you're going to want to, at this point you won't have a rifle. You'll be using a crossbow and tranq darts. But I'm going to use my rifle because I have it. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Whatever you have. I mean, honestly, you could club them out as long as you keep them bullied where they're on the ground. You could really just knock them out with a club if you had to. But at level 38, you should have a crossbow and you should have tranq arrows. That should be what you're using. So I'm just gonna... I don't need this pterodon, but I kind of want to try to find a high level one. I'm on my little island here, using a spyglass. They're fantastic. If you don't have one, find some damn crystal and build one. I think it's just crystal and hide, maybe something else. I'm pretty sure it's not very much of any of it, though. You could find like one crystal node, and as long as you have a metal pick, which you should have metal tools by now, you should have located metal by now. Like at level 38, you should have found these things, and if you haven't, I don't know how the hell you made it to level 38 unless you're just crafting boats over and over, which I guess you could do. I mean, it's a great way to level in the low levels because it gives you such a chunk of experience, but it's actually not a bad idea to do that, though. It really isn't. So yeah, I'm just gonna look around real quick and just find the highest level one that's on the island, because that's what you're gonna want to do. Especially if it's so hard to look at these things while you're on a bird. Especially if you're taming something with kibble, you want to go ahead and get the highest level one because you're gonna get the most effectiveness. Let me get off this damn bird. I'm having issues looking at these. So 143. Okay, we're gonna tame that one right there. Actually, I'm gonna keep looking because he won't fly away. I'm gonna look around. The rest of them are flying around too. Just cause I'm like that. If I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it the best I can do it. Which is why I like to tame stuff with kibble, because listen, it may seem like a lot first on in the game, but if you get on and once you establish a safe place, like you build your little hut somewhere and everything, if you go ahead and you know you're gonna be in one of the easy locations, almost definitely at the very beginning. So you're gonna be like right on the beach somewhere, more than likely, and you can just go ahead and drop that crock plot off. Make a compost bin. You know, making all that stuff's going to help you level anyway. It gives you something to do while you're trying to level up to the point where you can unlock a flyer to where you can go explore around, because they really open the game up. Having something that flies. Oh, that's a 159, so we're going to tame that one. So, I know this area is completely safe. I know that because absolutely nothing aggressive spawns on this island. It's fantastic. He's a pretty one, too. Be a nice one to have. So what you want to do is wait for him to get on the ground like he is. Bolo him. Then you're going to switch to whatever you're going to train them out with, which you know the process of training something out. I covered it in my last tutorial. That only took one shot. You're probably going to have to shoot it more than once. But these things trank out pretty easy, so it shouldn't be too god-awful hard. I do have my taming turned up. And usually I would starve tame something, but like I said, there's nothing aggressive out here, so I'm just going to put this kibble in him and let him eat it. I mean, you know the taming process if you checked out my last tutorial where we tamed a freaking trike. I needed that trike on that place. So just go ahead. I know this is more kibble than I'm gonna need, so I'm just gonna split it in half because you don't always have to starve tame something. The main purpose of starve taming something is so nothing hits it after it started eating, because it will lose effectiveness. It'll lose taming effectiveness. So yeah, I mean, this guy is, with this kibble and the way my settings are, he's going to tame pretty quick, but it's not going to be right away. But like I said, this is a totally safe area. Go ahead and check this other one out. Why not? Oh yeah, you can hit stuff with your your spyglass. It's not very good as a weapon, but I mean, it can be used as one. Oh, also, another thing about those pelagornuses, they're assholes. They don't eat anything but fish. They will starve to death with meat and berries in a trough. They don't care. They don't care. They don't eat anything but fish. What's up, Dark Knight? What's up, Incullum? Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, we've all been new, man. This is actually only my third little guide. My other two, I'm not even sure if they're still up on my Twitch, but I definitely have them on my YouTube channel. They're very good, informative little beginner guides. Like, I'm just basically giving you basic information. Like I was talking about here, I wasn't going over like starve taming as much because I know I covered that in my last one. But yeah, man. We've all been new to Ark at some point. I'm going to be honest with you, this is one of those games where you can play this game for like 2 years and then you're still learning something new sometimes. Like, I am still finding things out about this game that I didn't freaking know, especially playing on Extinction, because I have, oh, that's another 159 right there. And the max level things spawn in the wild on my server here on Ragnarok is actually 165, so 159 is really good. It's really close. Anyway, we don't need another one, we're just going to tame this one. It's just for the purposes. I mean, I've basically in this video went over everything you need to know to get to the point to tame this guy. And if you've got him knocked out here, it's basically like taming anything else. When he eats once, I am going to go over the taming effectiveness again, because a lot of people get confused about that. The taming effectiveness basically goes down the more he eats. So if you feed him a food that he has to eat more times to tame him, it's going to go down more. If he eats once and something hits him, it's going to go down. So you don't want that, because the taming effectiveness gives you... I wish he would eat, so there would be there on the thing. Eat, you bastard. I know you're hungry. He'll eat in a minute. What's his food at? Yeah, he's going to be a minute, because he's got kibble in him. Anyway, yeah, taming effectiveness is super important, because you get a bonus when you tame something, like a percentage of its level. And the lower the effectiveness is, the lower the bonus is. So you want that as high as possible, which is why you should do this with kibble. You should have plenty of time in between level 1 and level 38 to set up everything to make kibble, because you only need rock carrots and dodos. I mean, it's dodos. They're so easy to get. They're the easiest thing to tame. You can literally knock them out with your fists and just feed them some shit. I think they eat berries. Yeah, they eat berries. How could they possibly be meat eaters? They'd starve to death. Oh yeah, okay, see, he got 37% off that one piece of kibble. I might have the taming turned up to 3 on this. I think it's on 2, but it might be 3 seeing that. But yeah, see, the taming effectiveness is 99.9. Even if he had to eat like 10 pieces of kibble, it's still going to be at 99. It may go down a little bit, like to 98 or something, if he had to eat a bunch, but because it's kibble, he won't have to eat it too many times, and he loses less effectiveness, because it's like his favorite food. If I was feeding him raw meat, it would go down a lot every time he ate. Prime meat, it would go down a little bit less, because he likes that more. I assume they probably eat mutton as well. But yeah. Also, don't leave all your kibble in them, because when they tame up, they'll just eat that shit. They love it. So I'm gonna, looks like he's just gonna need probably just 3 pieces. Actually, 2 more will probably do it, but I'm gonna go ahead and put 3 in him just to be safe. Better safe than sorry. It's a really pretty pterodon too, you guys. Like, almost max level for my server. Almost, like, nice. Really pretty. Nice colors. I mean, I don't need it. I have dragons, or wyverns, and argentavises. I have so many argentavises. Well, this guy's actually sitting here chilling because nothing aggressive spawns on this island. Let me just fly back over to my manor over here. Actually got a bunch of people watching. Hey guys, how's it going? Oh, I got people talking to me too. About to say I rarely stream, so it wouldn't really be worth following at the moment. Oh, thank you very much, Dark Knight Con. We try, man. We try. We got our forge here that we built, and I love this sign because we built this. This was the first forge we built on this server right after we started. Metalwork Inc. presents the Forge of Power. We were so stoked on building that forge, you guys. That was in the very beginning. Well, it was in the very beginning for Potty Mouth. It was in the very beginning on this server for me. I've played this arc since there was just the island, and I think the island in the center was all there was when I started. This is my base, though. I got my wyverns here. I have too many fucking wyverns. Got Stone Cold over there. Hey, Stone Cold, how's it going? He's a beast. But yeah, see, I also clearly have a problem with Argentavis breeding. Clearly. My breeding is turned up too. It takes me about a half hour to raise an Argentavis. Look at this one though. This is like 10th generation Argentavis or some shit. Look at her stats. Let me show you though. 5 mutations. I've got 5 mutations on her, and none of them are duplicates. They're all like mutations from new people, from new Argentavises that I'll go capture in the wild and introduce into my bloodline. But yeah, I just figured I'd give y'all a gander. And I built this castle here. It's the kind of stuff you can do in this game. It's pretty awesome. Gathered a lot of crystal. I spent a lot of time on this. Like, I spent more time on this than I really probably want to even think about. Like, because I gathered all that shit. I don't spawn stuff in. It's no fun. Alright, our guy should be just about tamed by now. We're going to fly back over here. And I would absolutely suggest that you don't leave a tame unattended ever. But I know that there's nothing aggressive on this island, so it's totally okay for me to do. I mean, if you know it's completely, totally safe. If you know it's completely and totally safe, it might be okay. Oh, look, there's another pretty one. What level are you? Oh, you're 60. You're worthless to me. These pterodons, I will say, it's going to be the first thing you're going to get that flies, and it's going to be absolutely amazing to have something that flies, but you got to watch their stamina. Like, they can't carry a lot of weight, and even a really high level one like this one is not going to have a lot of stamina, especially at the beginning before you level it some and put points in stamina. Like, dude, like, you got to put points in stamina, and you're probably going to have to, really with the weight, just put enough points in weight where it can carry you if you're carrying your max load. You know what I mean? Like, when you're at maximum weight capacity, give it enough weight to where it can still carry you, and then beyond that, just pump everything into stamina. You're not going to be fighting a lot with them. You know, you don't want them to be getting attacked a lot, so they don't need a lot of health, but you're going to need the damn stamina for sure. Oh, it's getting dark. Nighttime lasts like 30 seconds on my Ragnarok server, you guys. It used to be so much darker than it is now. Like, I don't know what they changed in the game, but it used to get so dark at night, and that's why I changed it. But it's not so bad anymore. It's pretty out here. This right here is where I built my first base. Not base, but my first little hut to start. Built it right up here on this sand, and I lived in that hut until I built that, well, until I got that castle finished enough to live in it. It's actually not even completely finished yet, but it's mostly there. It's mostly there. You put about 40 or 50 hours into building something, you're kind of like, yeah, you know, it's good enough and it works. Oh, you guys know what I'm saying, I'm sure. I'm sure, and God forbid if you're playing on an official server or with official settings, like, oh my God, why are you doing that to yourself? Rent you a server, it's not that much. Play on single player and just turn the settings up, like, unless you're playing with a tribe. If you have a tribe, it's like a big tribe, if there's like 5 or 6 or 7 or more people that get on regularly, then yeah, I could see playing official settings, but dude, when it's just two people for the most part, it's just you and one other person, like, everything takes so long in this game. There's no shame in turning some of the settings up so that it's faster. We didn't do that for this one. We're basically like fucking demigods on this server here. Like, our personal stats are increased greatly. I mean, you can still die, but it's a lot harder because of the crafting skill. You turn your crafting skill up high enough, and when you craft from a blueprint, you'll get an even better thing than what the blueprint says on it. An even better item, better stats on it. So yeah, like, our gear is freaking insane. Now, when all the gear breaks, though, yeah, I mean, I only have 500 health. I could die just like anybody else. It's still pretty easy to kill me if my gear breaks. Go ahead and put this back in a stack because I'm neurotic about that. I can't help it. I can't help it. Yeah, see, he ate again and it only went down like 0.1%, and that's because I'm using Kibble. Like, if I was feeding him regular raw meat, that shit would go down a lot. But see how he's going to get 79 levels? The lower that effectiveness is, the lower that number's going to be. So when he tames out, he won't be 159. He'll be 159 plus 79. So he's going to be like 2 something. That's going to be awesome because that means his base stats are going to be even higher. Hey, how's it going? See, 238. If you look at him, okay, see how he's got, even at this level, you guys, he is level 238. Tamed him from 159. Stamina is still only 382. His weight is still only 228. Like, 2,000 hit points. Like, so yeah, you're going to want to put the weight up to where he can carry you when you're fully loaded, and then put the rest in stamina. Go ahead and put this saddle on this fool. And how much weight do I have on me? Probably too full. Yeah, this is what he'll do when you jump on him when you're too heavy. Down here. Also, he's following you. Whistle all stop. They will also, when you tame them, be attacking your target. You probably don't want that. Behavior. Come on. Stance. And we're going to put him on passive. Yeah, let me see. I got a bunch of stuff on me I don't need. Let me just put it in this bird here. Majesty. He's the newest male I have that I'm going to breed into my bloodline with Dirty South. I'm actually going to make a how to breed video soon. Argentavis. Guess I'm a crackhead about that shit. Oh, man. Eggs are heavy too, you guys. Eggs are heavy. We can drop that. Alright, I should be light enough now. He should be light. Nope. I am still too heavy. You know what? That's what I mean, though. I mean, that's the problem you're probably going to have when you tame your first Argentavis. You're going to be like, oh shit, he can't even carry me. Yeah, so you'll have to put stuff into him. But I mean, that's how it's going to be because it's an Argentavis. It's how they are. There we go. I'm light as shit now. So yeah, not Argentavis, but Pterodon. I'm so sorry, Pterodon. I was thinking about Argentavises. But yeah, Pterodons are pretty quick. He'll get around pretty good. Let me have this guy follow me. Where are you at? I'm just gonna whistle all follow. Around pretty good. Have a regular attack. You have your little spinny attack there that uses a lot of stamina though. See how I'm almost out of stamina now? So we'll land on down here. Oh, see, my Pterodon done leveled up. ahead and put that into weight, because I need to get that weight up, because my weight's boosted. I carry a lot more on this server. They'll level fast at first. The lower levels, of course, require less. I'm just going to fly him back to my house, as it lags to load it in because it's too much. I don't even have a pterodon. Like, that's how useless they are once you get something that can carry more weight and has more stamina. They're quick though, and they are easy to tame, so they're pretty freaking expendable. If you just want something you can go out on, it's going to be totally expendable. That's another thing too. Another little pro tip there. If you whistle something to follow you while you're on a mount, it will be following that mount, not you. And you will have to be on that mount. Come here, Majesty. You have to go back downstairs, sir. You're going to be breeding soon. Probably not today. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He's caught up in the dragons. He's caught up in the dragons. What is happening? I'm just going to have to move these guys. That's all. I can't even land. This is Potty Mouse. This one isn't even mine. Yeah. Man, almost need a bigger house. That's crazy to say. Oh my God, are you stuck in Princess now? Princess, you come stand down here with Thor. There we go. There we go. Oh, dang it. Where's my ladder? There it is. Alright. Now, we'll bring you down here. Well, alright, you guys. That was my little beginner's guide for making kibble, and how to do that, and what to do to tame your first pterodon, which is going to be your first flyer, and how to do some gardening to grow some crops. And you can also grow berries too, like you can grow narco berries and mijo berries and any other kind of berry you may want to grow for dye or whatnot. It's a great way to make a lot of narcotics. You know, you set up some of those and you grow a whole bunch of narco berries, so you don't have to pick that shit. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all checking it out, you know. And as always, you guys take care, and I'll see you next time.